You know, speaking of footwork, that Mills Lane has great footwork. Watch him move around.
Oh, my.
You don't miss a trick.
Not a good comment on the plate when you're commenting on the footwork of the referee, Joe. That doesn't say too much.
Well, you know, he's the third man in the ring.
That's true. Thank you to give him credit for it.
Now you got me watching. And that is it for round 9.
Go back to my keys to winning, and that's a long time ago, it seems like, but we'll take a peek back at it. Hill, he has certainly established the jab. Didn't use his power too much early, but he hasn't really needed it. For Hassan, he needed to get inside. Hasn't done it much. He needs to be rough on the inside. There are only some moments when Hassan has done that, and we will take a peek in the last round at sometimes when he did. Now here he is, roughing Hill up a little bit, nailing him with the little right hand, throws the uppercut. So he's doing a little bit there of what he should have been doing all through this fight, and the lack of that has really hurt him.
All right, 3 rounds. Also, Al, I think that you overestimated Hill's power. You said use his power early. I've never thought of him as much of a power puncher or a power fighter.
Well, I don't think he is, but I thought he would need to stun Hassan a little bit, because I thought this man, Hassan, would be more dogged in his pursuit, but he hasn't been.
Round 10, scheduled for 12. The champion in the black trunks, the WBA light heavyweight title holder, and Ramzi Hassan, the challenger in the red. Virgil Hill has been in command.
You know, Hill does have 13 KOs in his 20 wins.
It's not how many you have, it's who you knocked out, Al.
Knocked Marvin Campbell out of one. He used to be the cruiserweight champion. Give him some credit, for God's sake.
You know, you're a singer, not a comedian.
Well, there may be some doubt about that after tonight.
We may need Mills Lane down here. Round 10, scheduled for 12. The WBA Light Heavyweight Championship being dominated to this stage by Mr. Hill in the black trunks. The WBC Middleweight Championship main event coming up. Tommy Hearns and Iran Barkley. A capacity crowd here at the Las Vegas Hilton.
That was a little chopping right hand by Virgil Hill. Every time you start to be critical of fighters like this, so for these guys to be in the kind of condition they're in and be in the 10th round of a fight and still be able to move around and take punishment away, Hassan just took that punishment. They're still the best conditioned athletes in the world, and we shouldn't take anything away from them.
And two really top light heavyweights. And Virgil Hill has boxed so well in this match that it's just been, I think, a matter of him boxing so well that Hassan has not been able to accomplish what he wants, and so it's made it less than exciting.
A little holding and hitting there by Hassan. Less than 30 seconds, round 10.
That apparatus that they use on Hassan, where he has to punch underneath something to keep himself a little lower. When he goes back to the gym, they better lower it another foot.
I think you're right, because he is standing very straight up, and it hurts him badly.
He did it again just now. Covered up. And that is round 10. And the crowd reacting. Virgil Hill's corner. Let's see if we can listen in.
Got to suck it up, Virgil. You got to work these 2 rounds. You got to stay after him. The guy is trying to hold on because he's tired. Now he's throwing a lot of right hands. If you're laid back, now we're never going to win. You got to keep going to him.
Well, the left hand of Hill still a staple of his attack, but this time he hit him with the right hand after using that left.
But look at that. Look at the position. That right hand. It's just his arm. There's no shoulder, no pivot. No. That's why he can't punch with the right hand.
Does not get his body behind it. Shocking when you consider that he's got Eddie Clutch in his corner, Freddie Roach, Hedgeman Lewis, guys that really know their way around boxing.
Well, it's tough. Sometimes you can tell a guy and tell him, but he is a converted southpaw, and it just doesn't mesh.
Round 11, it is scheduled for 12. The WBA Light Heavyweight Championship.
We're now going to rename this evening officially Decision Night. We were only kidding about knockout night, folks.
I hate to say I told you so, but I told you.
That puts Gil ahead by at least 4 points, and I need a knockout in the Hearns-Barkley fight to get back in it. I had a feeling you were going to remind us of that, Gil.
This fight's not over yet, Al.
That's true. We don't want to discount the possibility of a knockout.
WBC Middleweight Championship is coming up next. Thomas Hitman Hearns and Iran Barkley. Thomas Hearns letting Jim Hill into the locker room for a pre-fight talk, and Iran Barkley behind closed doors will not open the door.
Well, you know, when I managed and trained fighters, I mean, I used to give the press free access up to the day before the fight, and there's no way that I will allow anybody from the press in the night of the fight, because you'd be surprised how these fighters' minds can get affected. You can be working on your fighter for a month, telling the other guy's got a good right hand, a good right hand, a good right hand. All of a sudden, the TV announcer comes in and says, now, you are worried about his left hook. And that takes everything you've been teaching the fighter or trying to get him to understand away from him. So I'd never let anybody in my dressing room the night of the fight. And I know the TV people don't like to hear that, but that's the way I feel about it. Now he's turned to southpaw now.
And Hassan claiming low blow this time. Let's see. What is it? Bill Lane says yes.
He took a point away. Well, what was the name of the school that Hassan went to when Jordan was this an acting school? Or it may have been.
A little over dramatic.
That one looked like it did land a little bit low, but
he's got a big cup on Al, and it wasn't a vicious punch.
Well, I was going to say, I don't think it was as hard as it appeared, but because we don't know.
We didn't get hit, is correct.
That's true. There was no question he complained about some that were very borderline before that.
Hassan complaining.
Hill has switched to southpaw.
I don't remember seeing him do this very often in his fights before. Occasionally, but not too often.
Well, maybe he's trying to get Hassan out of there now. But over. You know, Hill lands that left hook counter punch that he throws when the other guy throws right in, strictly by instinct. Doesn't think about it. He doesn't even look at the guy half the time, and he still nails him.
Well, Gil and Al, 11 rounds complete. We're going to the 12th and final round now.
You got to be able to stop it.
Let's check out Hassan's corner.
And work his ass. Look, the horn. This is the last round. You want it? Huh? No. You got to get this. You got to get it.
You got 3 minutes. 3 minutes is way over.
You got to go out there and do it, Ramzi. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You got to.
Got a fire in that corner, but that was pretty low, Gil. That was pretty low.
Yes, that was definitely a low blow. No question about it.
That was one that did get in there a little bit low. Here's Virgil Hill.
Come on. Come on.
This is it. They'll touch gloves. 12th and final round for the WBA Light Heavyweight Championship. You heard the words in Hassan's corner. This is it. You got to get this. You got to get this. But so far he has not.
You know, Steve, I said after the Mayweather-Frazier fight, I'd hate to be a judge in this fight. I'd love to be a judge in this fight.
this one is a little more clear cut.